Before 2022, Japan was known for its extremely restrictive immigration policies, especially regarding refugees. In that context, the Ukrainian community was very small and largely invisible, consisting mainly of mixed marriage couples, specific professionals, and a few students who had arrived individually over the years. However, the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine marked a major turning point. In an unusual move, Japan decided to accept thousands of displaced Ukrainians, facilitating their arrival and creating a special protection system that, in practice, mirrors refugee status. This shift gave rise to a completely new and diverse community. Today, Ukrainians who have been integrated into Japanese society for decades live alongside newcomers who still face significant challenges, such as the language barrier, finding employment, and cultural adaptation. This unprecedented opening represents a new chapter in Japan's relationship with the world. Determining the exact number of Ukrainians in Japan is not simple, as there are different legal categories and migration statuses. Still, clear estimates help us understand the magnitude of this phenomenon. In 2022, Japan welcomed approximately 2,300 displaced persons from Ukraine, a significant figure considering the country's history regarding asylum. By 2023, more than 2,000 Ukrainians were already residing in Japan under various forms of protection. Furthermore, with the introduction of a new migration status in late 2023, thousands of Ukrainians have been officially recognized under this category, consolidating their presence. Regarding geographical distribution, most are concentrated in metropolitan areas like Tokyo and its surroundings, where there are more job opportunities and support networks. There are also established communities in Kansai, including Osaka and Kyoto, as well as other major cities where local governments and NGOs have developed specific assistance programs. Although their current visibility is recent, the Ukrainian presence in Japan has deeper roots than it might seem. As early as the 20th century, certain individuals acted as cultural bridges between both nations, participating in intellectual and artistic exchanges. Following Ukraine's independence in 1991, a more defined diaspora began to form, with the arrival of students, skilled workers, and individuals who established family ties with Japanese citizens. However, growth was slow and often went unnoticed, partly because Ukraine was little known in Japan and frequently confused with Russia. A key moment was the founding of the organization Kryani in the year 2000, which helped provide structure to the community. These networks, though small at the time, proved to be fundamental after 2022. They allowed the community to offer vital support, translation services, guidance, and a crucial emotional connection to the newly arrived displaced persons. The Ukrainian community in Japan is composed of very different profiles that reflect two major migratory stages. On one hand, there is the older diaspora, people who have been in the country for years or even decades. Many are married to Japanese nationals, hold stable jobs, and possess a high command of the language, working in sectors like education, research, art, or specialized industries. On the other hand, there are the displaced persons who arrived starting in 2022. This group is primarily composed of women, children, and the elderly, as many men remained in Ukraine due to the war. In terms of labor, many newcomers start in sectors such as services, hospitality, or manufacturing. Meanwhile, those with higher education attempt to re-enter more qualified fields, though they face significant obstacles like the language barrier or the validation of degrees, making the support of NGOs and community organizations essential. The encounter between Ukrainian and Japanese cultures generates both affinities and unique challenges. Many Ukrainians deeply value the safety, order, and stability found in Japan, yet they also find difficulty in less visible aspects, such as implicit social norms or indirect communication, which can be complex at first. In contrast, Ukrainian culture tends to be more expressive, with a strong emphasis on family life, social gatherings, and traditions. This difference can sometimes lead to feelings of isolation, especially for those in areas with fewer foreigners. In this context, it is common to see Ukrainians maintaining small daily practices that connect them to their identity, such as wearing traditional garments at cultural events or enjoying a natural Ukrainian herbal tea during community gatherings. To bridge this cultural gap, festivals and gastronomic activities are often organized, allowing them to share their heritage with Japanese society and strengthen mutual positive perceptions. For Ukrainian children and youth, the Japanese school system is a key space for integration, but it is also where significant challenges arise. The language remains one of the greatest barriers, and many families rely on support programs, additional classes, and volunteers to facilitate learning. At the same time, there is a conscious effort to preserve their cultural identity through Ukrainian language classes, community activities, and religious events that maintain a link to their roots. Regarding the future, many families do not view their stay in Japan as merely temporary. A significant portion expresses a desire to stay, especially due to the stability and educational opportunities available for their children. However, long-term integration will depend on factors such as continued access to employment, the formal recognition of their previous studies, and a broader social openness within Japanese communities. In just a few years, the Ukrainian community in Japan has undergone a remarkable transformation, evolving from a small, almost invisible group into an emblematic case within the national debate on immigration and asylum. This change was made possible by the sheer magnitude of the crisis in Ukraine, Japan's political decision to offer support, and the pre-existing community networks that facilitated the welcome. Looking ahead, Japan faces the challenge of ensuring that Ukrainians can build stable lives without losing their cultural identity. At the same time, it has the opportunity to use this experience as a model to improve its migration policies in general. How Japan responds to this situation will influence not only the destiny of this specific community, but also the country's broader relationship with diversity and inclusion in the coming decades.